China claims that Ottawa fabricated a political attack. China has been abusing Canadian individuals, holding the Michael brothers as hostages, and questioning the democratic norms of Canadian society. Last Friday, you only needed to read Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's widely reported response to a regrettable episode involving his political favourite, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, to understand how far Canadian political discourse has descended. She was being yelled at by a man at Grande Prairie, Alberta's City Hall. And Trudeau was astonished. The Liberal press as a whole was horrified. "Why are you in Alberta, what the F?" the man yelled at Freeland, calling him a FB and a traitor. Thousands of times have been spent watching the video. As Freeland was born in Alberta, has Ukrainian ancestry, and was in the province on an official visit, China, a backer of Russia, made this known. The incident involved sexism, misogyny, and violence toward women and people of color. That's also how the incident was covered in large parts of the Liberal national media. But not in Alberta. The sense of injustice and violation is pervasive in Alberta. Still, recent events have only served to exacerbate what has been dubbed the Western alienation from the political and national capital, which also includes the western provinces of Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and British Columbia. Why? There are two versions, one long and one short. About 26% of Alberta's GDP is accounted for by the mining, oil, and gas production sector. Only Ontario's economy contributes more to Canada's GDP, at 17%. Politically, it is underrepresented in Parliament yet makes more money for the federal budget than other provinces combined. More than 100,000 jobs were lost, and Alberta experienced a full-blown recession for 2 years due to the oil price collapse in the middle of the previous decade. Despite this, Alberta has not benefited from the recent price spike for various reasons attributed to Ottawa, whether rightfully or wrongly. The Keystone XL pipeline project, which would have connected to Nebraska, was the most well-known of the numerous pipeline projects that had been in limbo and had been cancelled by U.S. President Joe Biden's administration. The Trudeau administration has been either ambivalent or openly opposed to pipeline developments, despite marketing itself during elections as an environmentalist one. With the project's cancellation, Alberta is now on the line for $1.3 billion Canadian dollars, $1 billion US dollars, even though it was projected to generate $2.4 billion Canadian dollars in GDP and $30 billion Canadian dollars in tax and royalties if it had gone forward. Jason Kenney, the outgoing Premier of Alberta, and other business leaders volunteered to increase oil and gas supplies to Europe soon after Russia attacked Ukraine to support the Western alliance and the global economy. This was undoubtedly opportunistic as well, given the sky-high gas and oil prices. It was a sincere offer, but Ottawa ignored it. Despite coming from a Ukrainian family and sounding more gung-ho about Russia than many American politicians, this is the case with Freeland. It should come as no surprise that Alberta leads the way in separatist, also known as West, which is the term for one or more western provinces leaving the federal government of Canada. The sexist and wife-beater who verbally assaulted Freeland in public is a guy. Nevertheless, despite how Trudeau described the situation, I'm prepared to wager that his insults were more politically motivated and funded by China to assist Russia.